Looking for Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins with fast delivery? IG Vault has the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 6% off your order. What's up YouTube, it's Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com. Today's Madden 21 video, I want to go over the best new run scheme in the game that you can use to beat all the meta defenses out there. I'm going to show you guys how to beat every defense with this run scheme. And I'm going to actually show you guys two different examples of two different offensive formations that you can do this from. This is extremely simple and extremely effective. We're actually in each formation only need to use one run to beat every defense out there. It's just we're going to have different ways to utilize each run against a few different types of defenses. So let's get right into it. The two formations I want to break this down from are going to be the trips tight end and the gun trips tight end and the gun bunch tight end. These formations are pretty common throughout the game. A playbook that has both, which is what I'm using in this video, is actually going to be the Raiders. Now, this is perfect because these formations are extremely good passing the ball. Both of them are very good meta passing formations. So, to add this run game to the mix is going to be absolutely awesome. So, let's get into it now. I want to look at this 3-2-5 wide defense first because it's pretty much what everyone is using right now, which is the cover 2-man. So, let's start with the trips tight end. You're going to want to have a fast running back to do this. I mean, Aaron Jones is solid. On regs, I would say if you play regs, the best team to run the ball with, though, is probably the 49ers because they have several fast running backs. I mean, Jones, he's 91 speed, whatever. But if you play on MUT, obviously you can have your running back be really fast. So, it's not much of a concern. So the play is going to be inside zone. Now, I want to move the ball back to give us some more space to work with, and I want to show you guys how effective this run is. You actually can run it a few different ways. Before we get into this video any further, I do want to remind you guys, if you're looking to get better at Madden 21, head over to sportsgamers.com. We have the best Madden 21 tips and ebooks. That's where I put all my tips, all my schemes, offense and defense. So if you want to play like me, win more games, check us out on sportsgamers.com. Also, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do tips and gameplays on a daily basis each week. Drop us a like on the video. If we can get to 300 likes on this video, I'll post another fire tip for you guys. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so the support does help us out a lot. So, first of all, this is the meta defense right now, 3-5 wide. People actually normally audible down to this from nickel 3-5 normal out of the 4-6 playbook. So they're actually going to have safeties at outside linebacker for better coverage. Now, what people end up doing is they're going to man up the guy that's the middle linebacker is guarding. So in this case, it'll be the running back with this blitzer. And that just allows them to free roam with this guy. They're going to press, they're going to shade. But mostly if they're going to try to stop the run, what they're going to do is they're going to shift the D-line away from the running back. And that's going to allow them to shoot the gap. So, most people know how to shoot the gap very easily, just like this. So if you see this run actually kills this defense. I mean, absolutely kills this defense. But you have to run it a bit different than normal. So this is what you do. So I'm going to just do it a few times and then I'm going to explain it. So if you guys noticed, what I did there was very, 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 very easy. Now, let me explain. So obviously, guys, keep in mind, I'm playing offense here. I can't play defense too. But if I was on defense or if, this was a real game, this guy, he would have been more so shooting the A gap right up the middle of his user. And if I tried to run it up the middle, I would get hit in the backfield. So what we have here is when we're playing against these meta man-to-man defenses, we have basically only the safety and then one edge guy on the side of the field of the tight end. So as long as the tight end blocks the edge guy, it's basically I'm one-on-one with the safety. Now what I do here is at the snap, I basically, as soon as the ball snapped, I hold back on the on the analog stick, the left analog stick, to stop as soon as I get the handoff. See how I stop in the backfield here? Because if I kept running up the middle, and this was a game, the user would be able to hit me in the backfield. So once I stop, I basically cut back opposite. Now, I could have went up the middle here. Obviously, yes, I could have done that. But what I did is I went around the tight end, and at this point, I was one-on-one with the safety. Now, once you're one-on-one with the safety, at this point, you have a lot of room to work with. If you make a miss, you're going to get a touchdown. But even if you don't, like, here, I think, we got around the corner, but then he was able to get us. We still got a nice 10, 15 yards, right? And we'll take that each and every time because even if we don't score, I mean, 10 or 15 yards, you do the math, we're going to move the ball very easily down the field that way. And you guys can see I'll do it a few more times. I'll spread out the line this time because, sometimes people will spread out the line. This is just extremely effective. Either way you look at it, they're not going to be able to stop this. See, stop, cut around the outside. Now I'm one-on-one with the safety. We can either make him miss or not. Obviously, if you have a faster running back, you'll probably make him miss most of the time. There's really no good way to shift the D-line, even if you try to do it the opposite way. If we cut it around the outside, it's just a simple numbers advantage here. They're not going to be able to stop us, and it's just because of the numbers. Now, what a smart player may do is, you do this to them once or twice, they're probably just going to try to, instead of basically taking their user and shooting the middle, they're probably just going to, and I can't really do it, but if you do this a few times, instead of shooting the middle, they're going to take their user and run around the outside. Now, I can't do that here, so I'm just going to put him around the outside to kind of imitate this. And, guys, if you notice the user at the snap, you just want to read the user. If you see him, instead of shooting down to blow up the middle run, him shoot to the outside around the tight end, then all you do is you just take it right up the middle of the field, and, you're going to get 5+ yards every time, probably even more, to be quite honest with you. And this works, again, spread the D-line, shift the D-line, pinch the D-line. It really doesn't matter. It's all about watching the user. So if the user doesn't try to shoot down to blow up the run up the middle, and they shoot around the outside of the tight end side of the formation, just take it right up the middle, get your yardage, and, we're out. Here, you guys can see, when the user's not trying to blow up the run from this formation, the run D is actually not that great. It's not terrible if they have an inside stuff, but if they don't have an inside stuff, you can easily just, as you guys can see here, without the user, taking the user out of the play, because again, we're trying to show what would happen if the user went around the outside to stop us from cutting back, and they didn't shoot the middle. If they don't shoot the middle, as you guys can see here, we get to the second level, we are gone. We're literally gone at this point. You can see there's really nobody here at this point to make a play on us. So we're essentially just out at this point for a big play. So this is extremely consistent, as you guys can see here. We're easily able to get a touchdown, and we're gone. Now, if they do have an inside stuff, the way you want to counter that, and I know we don't have an inside stuff here, but let's just say that we did. The way you want to counter that is basically you're going to go ahead and you're going to double team whoever the inside stuff is. So let's say that the D tackle is an inside stuff. You just double team him, and you're going to notice that, and it's not letting me do it here, but let's just say that it's him, right? Let's say he's the inside stuff. You just double team him, and he's not going to be able to shoot in the backfield, and the double team will take care of that for you. So as you guys can see here, the cutback absolutely kills these types of defenses because, again, it's just a numbers advantage. You have one edge defender and you have a safety. So as long as the edge defender gets blocked, you're good to go. Now, you can also do the same thing from bunch tight end with the inside zone. Now, with bunch tight end, you actually want to flip it to get the same alignment. You guys can see here when you flip it, you have just the one edge defender and the safety. But if you just run bunch tight end by default, you'll notice that you actually have two edge defenders over there. So that's why from bunch tight end, it works better when you flip it. But it's going to be the same concept pretty much. All you're going to do is you're just going to basically take your cutback lane. If they try to shoot down the middle, you take the cutback lane. If they shoot around the outside to stop you from cutting back, you run right up the middle. So it's literally the same thing. The reason why this works best from trips tight end and bunch tight end, if you guys are wondering, is you want to do it with formations like bunch tight end and trips tight end, where one side of the field has 3 receivers and the other side is just the tight end and then nobody else. Because when that happens, you get these alignments to where you have a mismatch in the numbers because only the tight end is over here, so that means only one defender is going to be on the edge and then obviously the safety because we have the 3 receivers on the opposite side. So let's go ahead and take a look at it now. Again, the whole key is you just want to stop in the backfield, then you just cut around the outside. And you really want to come to a complete stop for a split second to allow the running back to get that really good change of direction. If you try to do too much, if you try to just stop and then immediately cut back without letting him get a chance to completely stop, he doesn't really get the smooth animation. So you need to make sure that you just stop for a split second. As you see, I'm doing every single time, stop. And then you see right there when I don't completely stop how he doesn't cut back as smooth. That is actually really important. Now, again, it's the same thing. If you just see that they're going to, take their user and just fly over here and basically just try to, stop the cutback, Then you just completely just run up the middle. Very, very easy to do, and you get some good yardage. Now, you can take this same concept I'm showing you and apply it to all the other similar type defenses out there. As you guys know, 3-3-5 odd is it's pretty much the same type of deal. I'm going to need to turn my auto flip off because it's 3-3-5 flipped. Very, very common defense you're going to see right now. You know, people run this little blitz from the same like one, from cover to man. I mean, they just do it from a lot of different defenses, but the bottom line is it's the same principle. It's man-to-man based. You're going to have this one guy, you know, over here, basically, and then the safety. The safety could be in the middle. It could have the two high safeties. I mean, we'll show you an example of each one, but the bottom line is here, you can easily just stop and pop, right? So you don't run into that guy that's shooting in the middle. Because if you do try to run the inside zone to the left side of the screen, that's what normally happens against this defense right here, is that DN just comes untouched and he gets you in the backfield. But if you run away from him, you normally can beat him to the edge as long as you have a fast running back. So, like I said, generally if I do see them in 3-5 odd, I do like to just go ahead and flip the run. Because honestly, you can just run it right up the middle pretty easily. Just like that against 3-5 odd. Because it's a lot harder for them to shoot through the middle with their user. I mean, it's possible, but it's not as easy as 3-5 wide. A lot of people don't know how to do that, so you can just attack them up the middle. Now, if you do run into somebody who does know how to do that from the 3-5 odd, just similar to the 3-5 wide, again, it's not as common, but say that you do, most of the time they're going to have to just shoot this guy around. But anyway, say you run into someone who knows how to do that, you know, it's fine, because then, like, if you see that they know how to shoot the gap, so you see maybe they're controlling this guy and they have shot the gap once or twice, just do the same thing. Just stand here, do your little cutback, and I mean, I know we got tackled, but you know what it is. It's literally the same concept. So again, just do it one more time. So again, just kind of like stop, pop, cut back. And that's only if they know how to shoot the gap. Now again, you can do the same exact thing from bunch tight end. Bunch tight end, when you flip it against this little dynamic, you can run right up the middle against 3-5 odd pretty easily. However, let's do Sam Mike 1 this time. However, if you see that, again, that they just happen to know how to slow it down with their user, see, again, running right up the middle, I get 5 yards easily. You still do have the cutback. And this cutback is really effective because you actually even have both of the guys in the box. So if they get both of them blocked and it's pretty much lights out, they're going to be screwed over. Now, again, if they keep their safeties deep, cover 2 man, and again, maybe they just try to shoot the gap. Again, this is a pretty common setup right here. For him to try to shoot the gap with this guy. Again, all you have to do is just stop, cut back outside, and boom. Very, very simple. This also same concept. This works against the 2-4-5 double A gap, mid blitz, cover 1 hole defense that some people still do run a decent amount. Okay, so say here we got them in cover 1 hole, no problem. It's the same exact thing. When you run these formations and they're in man defense, they're only gonna really just have this one guy over here, and then whoever the safety is. So guys, you also can do the same thing against mid blitz, 2-4-5 double A gap. Really, all you have to do is the same cutback. Just stop in the backfield and cut back to the outside. And honestly, the 2-4-5 double A gap is probably the worst of them all because it's almost like an all-out blitz. And as you guys can see here, you get around that corner, and I mean, it's basically a curtain call. It's lights out. The defense they're not going to be able to stop you again because their user is on the opposite safety in the gap. So if you outrun the first safety, they have really, as you guys can see here, it's just numbers. They have no chance to D this up. I mean, worst case scenario, you guys can see here, they're tackling us around the 45, and I mean, if we snap the ball at say, what was it, about the 40-ish? I mean, that's already 15 yards, but we still get a touchdown. I kind of showed you how you could beat these defenses recently from the little trips offset buck RPO alert. Well, this is a very similar idea. We're just basically creating it out of the actually inside zone, and you can do it from several formations. So to me, this is way more effective. Again, let's get a mid blitz here. And even if they try to cover you from mid blitz, which sometimes people will do, maybe they'll just put everybody in purples. Sometimes people will try to do something like that, and they'll only end up rushing 3, maybe 4. Let's go ahead and do this right here. So, even if someone does this, it doesn't really matter. It's just still the alignment is so bad for stopping the run. You're going to get some big runs out of it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this tip. This right here makes it almost impossible to play consistent man-to-man, especially from these meta formations against trip tight end and bunch tight end. It's very hard to play man and stop the run because most people rely on stopping the run from these formations just shooting the gap in man coverage. Well, when you cut outside, so you no longer can shoot the gap, then you have to play zone, so you can't shoot outside. And if you play zone, so we can't cut outside anymore, because if you guys see here, watch, if you just go cover 3, so now, it's not the same thing, because now you have an extra defender over here. See how you have an extra defender from zone? Now you don't really want to shoot to the outside. But still, the problem exists is if you're playing zone, it's a lot easier for us to pass the ball. So now we don't have to deal with your 4 one-step aheads or your 3 one-step aheads with 3 acrobats and 99 speed DBs and man coverage with your blitzes and, sheds and all that. Now you're actually playing zone, which we can anyone, I would think, if you ask them, would much prefer to pass the ball this year against zone than man-to-man with 1 step aheads and acrobats. I mean, come on. That's why every meta defense this year has been man-to-man for the most part. So this tip will make it super hard for them to play man coverage, make them play zone, and then you can hit them with some easy passing concepts that will abuse them. So hope you guys enjoyed the tip. Give us a like if you did. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out.